Hello everyone, and welcome to Hogarth's Global Astrology. Know your planets, know yourself, and here we go. So much has happened, hasn't it? So much has happened over the last few weeks. We just think, oh my goodness, what else can happen even more? And as I was saying in my last video, particularly my last one about Trump, I said that things will get more crazy, didn't I? Yes, and so they have. So we'll talk a bit about that. But just to basically essentially focus what this video is about on this occasion, we all know we have the grand conjunction coming up. You know, there'll be lots of talk about that. There's been lots of stuff in the media, lots of stuff online. In the UK, even our mainstream papers and the BBC have been talking about it. So we have the big conjunction that is happening tomorrow. Now, you've seen me talk about this in various different videos and stuff like that. So I'm going to talk a bit about the grand conjunction, although I have talked about it quite a bit at length already. So I just moved my laptop there. But this is going to be more also about 2021 and the years beyond, because when you have conjunctions like this that happen significantly, Saturn and Jupiter come together every 20 years and they set a new kind of theme, a new kind of raison d'etre, you know, for those 20 years to come. But this is a very unusual conjunction, as has been discussed already, because this happens once every 800 years, this conjunction, where Saturn and Jupiter are not just coming together like this, but like this, and they're creating what everyone is now calling the Star of Bethlehem. So we can see this is a profound signal and change. So you know, I'll go into those topics and why that is so important. As you can see, as usual, I have the inauguration day chart behind me, and you can see as well there's a little bit of extra sparkle here on the wand. Because it is the grand conjunction after all, and what is they're coming together as one big star in the sky. So I was like, right, it's time to put a little bit of extra twinkle on the end of the old wand here as I kind of point stuff out. So I've got some notes here. So first of all, let's deal with the bish rub, as my brother would say. Rather than rubbish, this is bish rub. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Well, first of all, let's talk about Donald Duck Larange, yeah? Donald Duck Larange. Oh man, this guy is in a spin. And do you remember how I said things will kind of go sort of like from bad to batshit? Well, we're seeing it, aren't we? We are seeing it. This guy and this general, what is it called? Michael Flynn. Having this, what seems to be some kind of heated exchange and bust up in the White House, where this guy nakedly has said, really put martial law out there and about recontesting, you know, basically rerunning the election in the contested states. I don't know what else has to be said for people to, you know, for those that are still supporting, you know, Trump. This guy is talking about having a coup now, like naked, literally martial overthrow. You also have the situation now, and again, this is something that I predicted in my blog, and I'll just put another link to that blog I wrote in March, and maybe just a few of my other blogs actually that I've written about these transformative times, particularly in the States. And I said in one of my blogs that there will be a major kind of viral attack to hit America. I thought it would just be, I knew it would be something, obviously, you know, it turns out it's coronavirus, but of course that's affected the whole world. I knew there was some kind of virus, but I also said there will be some kind of major hack in some way of the American systems. And we see this has happened. And what does Trump have to say about it? Diddly squat. Trying to turn it into a China thing. Like, this is just astonishing. like I said to people, we will see stuff that we have never seen before, and this is what is happening. You've got a sitting president of the United States who is now contemplating martial law to literally overthrow the result, which has long come in and been ratified. And then at the same time, you have an enemy state that has attacked the nation, and he's trying to make up it's some other kind of nation, when everyone knows, even what's his name, Pompeo, you know, Mike Pompous, even wanted to, basically has gone on record to say, look, this was an attack from Russia. And then you have the president behaving like this. Like I said, whatever we think that we've learned up to date with Donald Duck L'Orange, everything that we know up to this point, as outrageous as it's been, it's worse. Yeah. Basically, I'm sorry, I think it's not too much to say now. It is pretty obvious that Trump is some kind of traitor. Yeah, remember as well I talked about that lying, yeah? That lying. Liar, pants on fire. Trump's chart here. Retrograde Neptune, planet of deception in the shadow. With Jupiter, which like I said is the guru, but it's also disseminating knowledge, information. The planet that, this is the planet where people look up to, yeah? They're under the influence of Neptune in Hasta Nakshatra, and the shadow of Hasta is the con man, yeah? This guy is just lying, but also as well, this shows secrets, scandals. Trump's fourth house falls on top of the 12th house in the USA chart, which is what? Hidden enemies, yeah? Trump is an enemy to the state of America, but it's not so hidden now. Now it's becoming obvious. Why? Because that big eclipse that I was talking about happening on Trump's moon, which was on the 14th of December, and was also when Congress ratified. What do eclipses do? They bring out the truth. They reveal processes and things that were hidden. So what was interesting, wasn't it, on the day of the ratification, was that we got to see the Electoral College do its stuff for the first time. But this was also at the time happening on top of Trump's moon, which is what? The mind. And that's why I say he's going to go even more cra-cra, which he obviously has. But at the same time, Trump's moon, Trump's mind, falls on top right in the 12th house of America, in Scorpio, yeah? And Scorpio is what? About hidden things, secrets, conspiracy theories, research, but also as well, it can deal with that darker side of life. And now we just see everything is going crazy. So we know there was a big old bust up. We know that he's trying to get back that crazy person, what's she called? Sidney Powell, who believes, Hugo Chavez, who's been dead how many years, is running some kind of plots and stuff. Isn't this extraordinary? This is extraordinary. We are seeing, like I said, we're going to see some weird stuff, and it's not done yet. But before I get on to 2021, let's talk a little bit about the inauguration again. Now, do you see everything that is brewing? Yeah, Pluto. If we go back to the inauguration chart, here we are, so, which is of course 20th of January 2021. This big stellium that I've been talking about, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 planets, yeah, in the sidereal Capricorn, which for this ascendant, for this chart, the ascendant is actually Aries, yeah? So here we are, that's the ascendant there, first house. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, boom, government, yeah? Capricorn is about government. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. What is Saturn? Saturn is infrastructure, government, rules, regulations. All of those things are going to change. They're going to change. We literally see it now, day by day, as Biden announces his new cabinet and all those people that he's got. Saturn also represents old things as well, including old people, yeah? So not to do any disparaging to, to Joe Biden, but he's not exactly young, is he? But he's also at what? The prime, the peak of his powers, yeah? So we hope that, of course, everything is all good and gets inaugurated. But look at, he's just announced, what's it called? Buttigieg, isn't it? And who's going to be what? Infrastructure minister. I forget the proper term, but, he's looking after infrastructure. And Saturn also represents what? The environment, yeah? Unspoilt nature. And what is Biden talking about? Renewable energy, the climate crisis. All of this stuff is now going to be addressed, because what's happening here is there's this thing that we have in Vedic astrology which is called the dispositor. And a dispositor planet is basically whenever other planets are in their sign, it's like they become almost like the guardian of the soul of that planet, or they have a huge influence. It's almost like they become that sort of like father or mother or grandfather or grandmother of that planet. Yeah, they give huge influence. So if we look here with this stellium of 5 planets in the sign of Capricorn with Saturn in his own sign, that gives Saturn immense power. So it means, yes, there can be immense power for what? Global governments, because, like I said, Saturn is the planet of lockdown, yeah? Part of his energy is restriction, rules, regulation, yeah? Following things like that. You can see what's just happened in lockdown. We've gone into tier 4. So I was supposed to be hosting Christmas this year. I cancelled it. I had to cancel. I mean, obviously, family would think, look, maybe we should reconsider whatever, but I am not breaking any rules right time now while this Star of Bethlehem is about to join tomorrow, yeah? This is probably not the time to be breaking rules, because what happens is when Saturn is in his own signs, which are Capricorn and Aquarius, he is also the planet of karma. Karma speeds up. Life speeds up. I know he's often known as the planet of delay and where we have to wait. This is true, but he's also the conductor, yeah? He's like the music conductor. You know how he or she regulates the tempo. When Saturn is in his own signs, he becomes very, very powerful, but also very quick. So we see what's happening. Global lockdown, this, that, and the other. Suddenly, in the UK, like that, they had to announce a new tier 4 for London. I was actually planning to fly to Ireland, on the 28th to spend some time with some dear friends of mine who I've not seen in years. Gone, yeah? Planning to do family, be with family for Christmas as host. Gone. You know what? I've said to my family, look, I'm going to join you with a bit of turkey joint and a big glass of Bailey's via Zoom Christmas this year. But you know what? At the end of the day, look, it's 1 year. That next Christmas, it won't be like this. But, so we see so much change. We can feel that age of Aquarius coming in, and this moment, basically tomorrow, when Saturn and Jupiter actually really do combine properly, that will be the moment where the rock is thrown into the lake, yeah, and then the ripples go out. This is the time where a lot of pigeons, well, not pigeons coming home to roost, but the chickens, as they say, well, in this case, turkeys, coming home to roost, where collectively we just have to face reality of the world that we live in. This is the time to stop pretending, to stop denying things, yeah? To let go of conspiracy theories and embrace the truth, because Saturn is the planet of truth. Now, this conjunction is happening at a very important place, and it's going to be happening at 6 degrees of Capricorn. So if we look here, let me actually just put this transit here. I'm going to put it on there for the 21st. I'm just literally just doing this now. Yeah. So when I look here at my screen, Saturn and Jupiter will meet on the 21st, which is tomorrow, exactly at 6 degrees, 20 minutes of sidereal Capricorn. And that means it is happening in the nakshatra the lunar mansion, because you know my clients will know this, but I always show them this sheet here. So if we look at this, yeah, this is the sky according to Vedic astrology. These are the fixed stars, yeah, the fixed stars around the side. I call this the pizza crust, yeah. Now, these stars are moving backwards by 1 degree every 72 years, which means every 2,400 years, the sky, the zodiac, moves backwards by 1 whole sign, yeah? So that means when you do Vedic astrology, we actually calculate it from almost 24 degrees behind where Western astrology operates, yeah? So really, effectively, Western astrology is 24 degrees ahead. So if you also look at Western astrologers, they'll be saying this conjunction is happening at 0 degrees of Aquarius, yeah? This is Aquarius here. So they're effectively saying it's happening here, but actually, it's actually happening here. Now, why is that significant? It is very significant. This is the prelude. This is the warm up for the age of Aquarius. This is the preparation, because of course we're not quite there yet. What is Aquarius about? Equality, yeah, equality, diversity, inclusiveness. So we have what, the new Biden administration that is trying to bring that in, but it's not reality yet, is it? Biden still needs to be sworn in along with Kamala Harris, and old Duck LaRange is trying to do as much trouble as he can, probably with a little, not even probably, certainly with a bit of help from Russia, yeah, a certain Putin, who's trying to do what? Sabotage that age from being born, yeah? They understand, but they're running out of time, because what? The grand conjunction is tomorrow, signaling, like I said, throwing that giant pebble or that crystal into the lake and having the ripple effect go out. Trump knows he's running out of time. This is why he's so desperate. This is why he's contemplating what? Martial law, huh? Crazy man. But like I said, it's not all out of the wash yet, because Biden won't be president until the stroke of 12, midday, on the 20th of January. And when we look up here where the ascendant is, Aries, yeah? Who rules Aries? Mars. Where is Mars? Mars is in the first house, in the ascendant, yeah? In the body. So this is very powerful. Trump has Mars in his first house. I have Mars in my first house, actually. It gives you a lot of energy, yeah? You just better make sure you're working on the good side, because it can give a lot of energy for doing bad as well, because Mars is a malefic after all. But if we look here, who's involved, yeah? We've got Mars with the moon, the mind, yeah? The masses. And there as well is with planet Uranus, which is what? Sudden shocks and surprises and revelation, yeah? Revolution. So, assuming all goes to plan, and I say that, assuming all goes to plan, when Biden and Harris are sworn in, they'll be bringing this kind of almost revolutionary energy with them. Because why? What they want to do, they want to create change. Big change, infrastructure change, governmental change, all sorts of things. Because you see here, planet Uranus is the co-ruler of Aquarius. But the original ruler of Aquarius is who? Saturn. So we see that Saturnian influence again. Where is Saturn? In his own sign. So this Uranus is very, very powerful, but they're also creating a square. Because if we count, 1, 2, 3, 4 is a square. Squares are very agitating. It's challenging energy. So as much as Biden and Harris want to usher in this new age, the age of Aquarius, because Uranus is the co-ruler of Aquarius, there are also other energies at work that are trying to create what? War, conflict, yeah? Mars, planet of conflict, squaring what? The government, yeah? So there's someone who is antagonizing the government, and they will have strong martial qualities, yeah? Donald Trump, Mars in the first house. And if we count round to him, let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's Cancer there. So that means also as well, this Mars is squaring the exalted Jupiter of Joe Biden. This is interesting. So what does this say? What does this say? Well, I mean, I've already kind of said it. So we have we have Biden, Harris trying to usher in the new age. Yeah, we see their plans and for infrastructure and all that stuff. Amazing. Yeah. Finally, it seems Congress has pulled their finger out and they're gonna approve a bit of a relief package, but it's been stymied. It's been shrunken, hasn't it? There's a square, there's a resistance there because, you know, those Scrooges basically don't want to dish out the money. They could end the pain tomorrow if they wanted, but they are what they are. So you see there's this kind of push and pull energy, acceleration and contraction. Saturn is both rules and regulations, but is the planet of karma. Jupiter is the planet of optimism and expansion. So we see there's a lot of contradictions at the moment. We've got Biden and Harris trying to birth this new America, but then we've got Trump and President Flynn trying to do what? Overturn it via what? Martial actions. He's talking about martial law, planet Mars, planet of war, yeah? Squaring what? The government, the new government that's coming in. So these are very tricky times. I'm not saying that Trump is going to succeed, but look at what he's trying to do. Because if we, of course, look at his chart again, on the inauguration day, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 planets, including Pluto, are going to be where? In his 6th house. As I said before, his 6th house of what? Enemies. Litigation. Woo! Oh my God, mash up. And then what do we see here as well? Ceres. Now, I don't go into the detail of Ceres. Ceres is Demeter, the goddess of the earth, but it's to do with one's children. Yeah? So there is this element here where this battlement, this embattlement, it could also involve his children. Or maybe one of the children could actually be a Trojan horse, could actually turn out to be an enemy. Ooh, keep your eyes on Ivanka, everyone. Yeah, keep your eyes on Ivanka, or any one of them could be, you know, whatever, could pull the plug. What it also says is that his children are involved in his scams, yeah, and we all know this, and they could also be facing litigation as well. It's all to play for. In his dying moments, let me just slip. This is just in case you're curious, a little bit of iced tea. So we see big things are happening, yeah? Again, I will talk about the Kala Sarpa Yoga, yeah? This is when all the planets are one side of the nodes of the moon, which I have discussed already. That happens on the 1st of January. Do you see how this is all piling up? Major conjunction tomorrow. Then we've got Kala Sarpa Yoga on the 1st of January, and that is not actually going to be broken until Mars crosses over. Sometime, I think he crosses over in March, yeah? The spring, yeah? What we're talking about in the spring is what? Maybe kind of turning the corner on coronavirus, where we maybe start saying goodbye to it for good. Now, it's not going to change overnight, of course, because what do we have? Pluto is about to enter the 2nd house. Pluto is just here, by the way. He's practically in the 2nd house. So that Pluto return, which takes 248 years to happen, will begin bona fide, proper, full-time on the 1st of January. My goodness, he goes into the 2nd house of what? Food, money. Everyone is crying out for food, money. People are broke, yeah? You know, they really need this rescue package, because if they didn't get it, then really it's really difficult. But this is still the dark night of the soul. But this is also transformation. So Biden and Harris are trying to bring what? That infrastructure, those changes, good paying jobs, trying to pave a road for the future for America, and then which will of course affect the whole world. But who's blocking that? Trump Larange, yeah, Donald Duck Larange and Flynn, you know, with their BS, with their trying to overthrow whatever. They want to try and what? Pull that back. They don't want us to go into this age of Aquarius here, where people are more equal, where we actually start talking about things like, homelessness and the distribution of wealth. Yeah, they want to keep it what? Capricorn, because Capricorn is the planet of the pyramid, yeah, of the structure, the top-down structure. Capricorn is also about the elites. So you can imagine the people at the top of the pyramid, yeah, where it's all sweet and nice and it's all it's all full of jewels and gems up there. They want to keep that for themselves, and they want the rest of the world just to stay as a plain stick, yeah. But the age of Aquarius is not about that. That age of Aquarius would be having all of this covered in diamantes, yeah, because everyone would be getting their chance to do what? To shine, yeah. So this is what the battle is about. And basically this grand conjunction is saying this, with Saturn and Jupiter, saying this is where we need to change. The change needs to happen here. It needs to happen in the age of Aquarius, because the next time after this, so around about 2041, Saturn and Jupiter are going to meet in the sign of what? Libra. And what is Libra about? Let me just drink some more of my gum. My throat's so dry. Libra is about what? Balance. It's the scales, yeah? The symbol of Libra, as you can see here, it's got a line with another line with a lump on top going over. That also represents the setting sun in the west, but it also represents the scales. The scales of what? Justice. Because Libra has got a lot to do with the legal profession. So the next time Saturn and Jupiter meet, they're going to meet on the scales of justice. This is really where we will begin. This will actually show where we're growing to. This is really the point where we really will have a lot more equality in the world, or even some huge bills or legislation could be passed to distribute wealth and stuff and information equally amongst everyone. So as you know, these things take time, because for something new to come in, something old must die. So we're in that dying phase of those old structures. And this is why sidereal astrology is also as well so accurate, because it describes what's actually happening. 00 degrees of Aquarius, as in Western tropical, it still works, it still has energetic validity, but it's anticipatory of what is to come, because of course it's 24 degrees ahead. So really it's showing what's going to happen in the years ahead. But we need to understand this as well. Saturn and Jupiter and the outer planets are slow moving planets. The slower the planet is, the more inaccurate it will be from a Western perspective, because it takes that planet much longer to catch up. You know, it takes Saturn, you know, it takes Saturn stays in a sign for 2.5 years. So it takes Saturn about 2 years to move 24 degrees, if you think about it, because it's a 30-degree portion of sky. So if from the Western perspective, with the faster moving planets, is going to be more accurate, because they can catch up more quickly with that 24 degree, yeah? But Saturn, Pluto takes much longer. So it's better to, when it actually comes to concrete events of what is happening now, who shows up on the doorstep? It's literally like the postman knocking on the door and you collect your FedEx parcel, yeah? That's what Vedic astrology is like. Who's actually there? We see the battle right now is happening where? In government. That's where all the action is. This is where all the big truths are coming out. Government. That's what's being restructured. That's what Joe Biden and Harris are talking about. Restructuring the government. There's probably even going to be changes to the American Constitution, but also as well constitutions around the globe, because it's not just America. America just has a fate and destiny where it has to experience most of this stuff in a way for the rest of the earth. There's a kind of lightning rod effect, because when America was born, if we look at the USA Constitution, look, the ascendant here is Sagittarius, and here it was along this axis here, and you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 planets in Gemini. But also as well, what's important to understand is that you've got, let's see, you've got one Mars in Mrigashira, which is about searching, the star of searching. But then you've got Venus, which is relationships, and Jupiter, which is philosophies and ideas. And let's see, and you've yeah, basically you've got these two in Ardra, which is what? Storms, yeah? Storms and tumult and things going cra-cra, yeah? So when the nation was born, it was on this axis, which is what I call the September the 11th axis, yeah? That's why we get so many big tumultuous events that happen in the USA. But then also as well, you've got the sun, yeah? Which is in Purnavarsu, which means return of the light. So America will always try and rebirth itself, and the light will come back. The battle is right now. So we're seeing who is going to win this battle. Kamala Harris and Joe Biden with their energies together, because you know she's a younger person as well, so she can help energize Biden, which is what we've seen. In a way, you know what? It's just come to me. It's like the political equivalent of Margot Fontaine and Rudolph Nureyev, yeah, except that Harris is the younger partner and Biden is Margot Fontaine. Yeah. Oh man, where do these things come from? But you know, I'll have to show some little clip. I'll have to kind of see if I can just squeeze in a little clip, and hopefully it won't get taken down, because there's a lot of Autobots that kind of, quite rightly in a way, kind of take down content that's not yours. So I might just fling in a little something on the end, and just imagine you know, Harris and Biden in this kind of dance, yeah. But she's she's re-energizing him. That is a very, very good thing, and they're preparing a lot of stuff. But we also see what? The resistance, yeah. We see the enemy within. Yeah, Trump, enemy within, without doubt now. I'm sorry, it just has to be said. There's no other way that this can be configured. The Electoral College has spoken, yeah? Trump, you know, Russia's done a major attack, and he's said, poop, yeah? Trying to say it's about China. So we know now what's going on. Michael Flynn trying to do what? Introduce martial law, yeah? They're trying to stop progress, yeah? They're trying to stop humanity ascending, because they know once we ascend, they become irrelevant. They have no more power, because what? The vibration of everyone is going to be rising up. And this is also what this conjunction is about. It's the planets coming together to say enough is enough. The change is coming. The star of Bethlehem is here. It is time for people to wake up and, you know, rub the crud out of their eyes and start thinking about others, to start thinking about the world. The planet is in crisis. I was just watching a little special the other day where they were talking about the northern tribes, you know, the Inuit people, who's saying that they can't even hunt the same anymore because the ice is changing so much. It's melting so much. They're moving away because of the seals, because of the noise of the ships. The ships produce a lot of noise, and it interferes with their communication, because how do most sea animals communicate? By their sound. Sound travels a lot further in water. Whale song can be heard for miles upon miles. We talk to each other, what, via Zoom and on the mobile phone. They do the same, but they just use it in the water. You know, when the whales are like, woo, you know, that just goes on and on and on and on. Elephants do the same as well. They use very low vibrations and they communicate via the earth. They can actually hear through their feet. So there's so much stuff that's going on. So we understand now the conjunction coming together, saying that old world, that top-down structure, it has to end because it's toxic, it's too damaging, yeah? It's affecting us. So this is what this conjunction is about. So we are on the doorstep of the age of Aquarius. I would say we're on the front door, and the front door is open. And like I said, it's like we're looking around, we're seeing what's in there, what the potential is. We can smell the cooking, but we're not sitting down at the table just yet. Because why? Because certain people need to get out of the way. Yeah? Certain people are trying to what? Sabotage the process, sabotage the elevation of humanity. And it's very clear who those people are now. The eclipse has revealed who these people are, because a lot of them sign their signatures on certain things, didn't they? A lot of them have been what? digging their heels in over the relief package. The relief package was supposed to be 3 trillion or thereabouts, from what I understand. And now it's been chopped down to what, 900 billion. I mean, that's not an insignificant amount of money. But imagine if the Democrats actually got the 3 trillion. Do you think Americans would be hungry? Do you think Americans would be queuing up at food banks and all of that rubbish? People need to ask themselves, why are they resisting? Because what, they're trying to preserve what? The pyramid, yeah? They want all the gems and all the gold for themselves, yeah? There's people that might be feeding off that energy of fear. You know, why else are they trying so hard? What is going on? All will be revealed. It is actually being revealed as we speak, but there will be more. And that's why I say this isn't over yet, because we still got just about a month, really, a month and change. Well, actually, today is the 20th, Sunday 20th. So yeah, it's a month from now. So there is a lot of change that wants to come in. So this is powerful, this is profound. So as I said before, this is about reaching up to the higher energies. So let me just read for you a bit about UTTARA, ASHADHA. Yeah, I'll just consult my notes. And I'll just mention the notes that I'm basically reading from. You know, there's people that are very good with astrology. One person I should mention actually is GEPPI. You know, I've done some of his courses, so I look at that. But also as well, when I just look at my notes in general, what is UTTARA ASHADHA about? So the deities of this nakshatra, which is, let's have, where are we? UTTARA ASHADHA. Okay, UTTARA ASHADHA is here. Yeah, this is UTTARA ASHADHA. And let me make sure, yeah. And UTTARA ASHADHA is actually co-ruled by the moon, but look, it's part of Capricorn, yeah? So it's a lunar nakshatra, and then if we look here, Purva ASHADHA, yeah, we've got all the different kind of stars here that give that flavor. Now, what UTTARA ASHADHA is about, it means the latter victory. And the symbol for this nakshatra is the elephant tusk, yeah? So it's got a lot to do with power. If you think, an elephant is a very powerful animal. It can knock down trees, it can trample houses. Do you know what I mean? This is why part of what it means by that latter victory. And the latter victory, of course, as the name implies, it's the victory, the sweet victory that comes after a struggle of some kind. What's happening now? We're having this big struggle here to see who's going to win. Is it going to be Trump and his scams and all of his bishrub, yeah, duck l'orange, and all those other governments trying to do, you know, hoodwink their populations? Or will it be righteousness and virtue? Because the Ashadhas, they're all about achieving, yeah, that sweet victory. It's ambitious and it's about doing the right thing. Isn't that poetic? That this conjunction should be happening in that nakshatra, the nakshatra of doing the right thing. So here it's also very spiritual, and it's got a lot to do with the law as well. So one of the things that we're going to be looking at is what laws, yeah? How, you know, if Biden and Harris, when Biden and Harris, you know, are confirmed, hopefully, if, you know, if Russia and Trump don't do something absolutely diabolical, what's going to happen? They're going to change the laws so that this rubbish that the world has been experiencing, America in particular, can't happen again. It should just be a popular vote. We all know this. This is what it's like in other countries. Who got the most votes? And you just tally them up, you know what I mean? And it's done. You know, that's how democracy is. It's done. This isn't even close. Biden has won the popular vote by over 7 million. I mean, how much more does a person need to actually win something? And he's also won by the electoral college. And like he said the other day, he's won Georgia 3 times. The truth is clear to everyone. Whoever's holding on to this thing, oh, yes, Trump won. No, he didn't. He lost big time. Yeah, and to entertain it any more than that now is just BS, and we know it. Stop it. It's time. Stop it. Enough. big conjunction is here. The new world is coming in. People that are holding on to that old energy, which is dying. Yes, I know it's sad. I know it's horrible. You know, when your business is going up the spout, and you look in your bank account and there's no money there, and it's it's just tumbleweed and whatnot. Yes, for everyday life in terms of three-dimensional reality, yes, this is a very difficult time because old systems are dying. Bricks and mortar, Saturn represents bricks and mortar, yeah, infrastructure. So those kind of traditional bricks and mortar businesses are now having difficulty unless they're what? Online. We're going into the age of Aquarius. I call Aquarius the the Aquarius is the marketplace, yeah, where we trade. The 11th house, relative to the house of rubbing shoulders. It's where we put up our little stall and we sell our little bits and bobs. It's relative to the 11th house of great gains. And I say the 11th house is like Amazon online, where we're all doing what? Shopping online. Yeah, things, so traditional bricks and mortar have to what? Change. Even our traditional cafe shops and shopping malls and all of that kind of stuff, as we shop more online, so people who are obviously in that sphere, if we just think of, Mr. Bezos, that's his empire, he's up there, yeah? He's up there. But he's part of the future, yeah? Very ahead of his time. That's also Aquarian as well, to be ahead of one's time. People think you're crazy when you're very Aquarian, and then 10, 20 years later, it becomes the norm. Yeah, so we're going into this new thing where some of these people, we're going to have to deal with concepts that we've either never heard before or we're unfamiliar with. Doesn't mean all the ideas are good. Yeah, some of them might be crackpot, but a lot of them will be amazing. But this is the age that we're going into. But we also have that dying phase first, yeah? So Pluto is what? The planet of rebirth. But he's also the dark night of the soul. He's coming into the second house of the USA chart, which means what? Money, values, finance, food. We're going to have to start looking at food distribution systems. We're going to have to start looking at all of this food bank stuff, yeah, globally around the world. Same here in the UK, more millions of people using food banks. This is rubbish. We're supposed to be rich countries, yeah, rich, huh? Remember before, like with Live Aid back in the 80s, and you had what, flies flying out of somebody's face, and some kids sitting there, and we're like, oh God, isn't that terrible? We've got this in our own countries now. It may not be flies, but it's like tin food. The queues for people queuing up for food, in America, it's just ridiculous. There's more than enough money to go around. But why? Certain people at the top want all the gems for themselves. They don't want to share it. But this will end, yeah? Because Aquarius is about what? Sharing. So this conjunction, although it's in sidereal Capricorn, it's happening in Uttara Ashadha, and it's about doing what is morally right. So this, in many ways, this is what? The star of morals. Again, it's very appropriate to call it what? The star of Bethlehem. A new way of doing things is coming. And this is the signal. But really, when we come here to 2041, when the next conjunction happens in Libra, we would have seen a lot of these plans come to fruition. By the time it's here in 20 years, it's going to be the standard, and then we're going to go to the next level of equality. It might, at this stage, it might even be sort of like animal equality. Who knows? They're talking now as well, for example, they've just started the manufacture of chicken and meat, which is just grown in a lab. We could reach the point here in 20 years from now where actually slaughtering animals of any kind becomes illegal. Not such an irrational thing. Would make kind of sense. All of our bloody diseases and all this kind of stuff that we're having to be dealing with is because people are eating animals they shouldn't be eating. Bats belong in caves, flying at night, either eating insects, yeah, or eating fruit. They do not belong in soup. Yes, bat soup is bat stew, and what other weird kind of things you want to throw in there, like armadillo and anteater and, crocodile and all this kind of stuff. No, Yeah, they're not supposed to be eaten. Certain animals are not supposed to be eaten. We know this, but the world needs to grow up about this. So all them, them wet markets where everything, people be eating unicorn if they could bloody catch one. Do you know what I mean? It has to stop. It has to stop. Enough, enough, enough. This conjunction happens once every 800 years. It's a big deal. This is why big things are happening on Earth. This is why we're all being forced to face what? Uncomfortable truths. The world is bloody going tits up. We had massive fires and stuff, and now is the time for us to actually look and rebalance and do what? The right thing. UTTARA ASHADHA. In order to gain what? The latter victory. To save the earth. Yeah, this is what this is about. This is part of the prayer that humanity has sent to the heavens to save us from ourselves. Because we're so stupid, yeah? And greedy. And go on with our silliness, yeah? These people like Duck L'Orange, that can't accept reality, can't accept truth, can't accept when they've lost, yeah? And been slapped, by the way. Slapped. All of this silliness has to end because why? It's destructive. It's self-destructive. We need to distribute the wealth equally amongst people. Look, I said that. Look, all the crows. Look, oh my goodness, just gathering. Maybe someone's feeding the birds. Yeah, they are. So we got the crows out there. So yeah, you can hear them. God, we're really getting stuck in, joining in with this chat. Anyway, so this is the beginning. We now have a choice. We now have a choice, and I call it this. We are now in the stage of holy oil and vinegar. Yeah, and we know what it's like when you make your salad dressing, put it on there if you're vegan, whatever, or you're just enjoying a bit of salad and you're like, I'm feeling healthy today, let me get stuck in. And you get your olive oil and you put the vinegar in. What? The vinegar does what? It sinks to the bottom. Yeah. So we're now reaching that point, that demarcation point where you're going to have the separation of the higher energies and the lower energies on planet Earth. And you need to, you need to make your choice. Are you going to be part of the holy oil and try and give back and bring this elevation up for the raising of humanity for all? Or are you going to be a Trumpublican? Yeah, or things to that effect. Are you going to cling to the old ways to make sure that you stay at the top of the tree, yeah? That you have all the power, yeah? Because we're now in the time of speeded up karma. Karma is speeding up because Saturn, planet of karma, is strong, and is strong for the next 5 years, yeah? Because he gets his signs back to back. He has to wait 30 years to get to his own sign, but then Capricorn and Aquarius are back to back. So he gets to make a huge influence longer than the other planets. That means as all the planets move through this part of the sky over the next 5 years, he's the grand dispositor. Big changes in global governments around the world. We need to start looking at nature. Saturn is, like I said, the planet of nature. This can't continue. We can't do ourselves out of a home. I know, you got certain people that want to fly to what? Mars, yeah? Those Martian people that want to fly to Mars. I say, good luck. It takes 4 years to get there under current technology. 4 years. Can you imagine? And that's 4 years without proper gravity, by the way. You'd be shriveled to bits, Your brain's going to be dribbling out your ears like a certain... I call him Dr. Dribblehead now. I can't even remember his name. Giuliani, there we are. It's gone out of my head. Hopefully, recover from whatever. I understand he's struggling with COVID at the moment, and I don't wish, bad on anyone. But look, there's certain people who've got stuff dribbling, yeah, from their head because they're not quite corpus mentis. Yes, Mars is a frontier and stuff like that, but it's not the solution. We live on planet Earth. Let's fix Earth, yeah, before we start fantasizing Neptune, yeah, having delusions about living on another planet. We live on Earth, and Earth is gorgeous. Earth is beautiful. Earth is worth saving, yeah? By the way, 7 billion people cannot fit on one bloody spaceship, can they? Unless you're going to have shrinking technology. But, you know, we've not seen that since Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, yeah? Back in the 80s. So until we can start developing technology like that, then we should stop entertaining some of these more outlandish things. Of course, there's stuff that we can learn from Mars and stuff. But by the way, their winters last for a very long time, by the way, because it has an oscillating axis. And depending on where the oscillation is how long that winter lasts. Some of their winters can last for, you know, almost 200 years. Sounds a little bit like Game of Thrones, doesn't it? Winter is coming. So we need to wake up. This is the wake-up call. But as much as there is destruction, as much as we see people trying to foil the ascension of man, ultimately, it won't work. At least that's what I hope anyway. But this is why the fight is so fierce, because whoever wins gets that lasting victory. Yeah, this is why you're seeing this cra happening right now. But ultimately, humanity, we're rising up. So it's time to embrace the new. So to extend that out in terms of 2021, but also as well, especially the next 5 years, it's all going to be about innovation, change, infrastructure, changes to government. Different ways of healing modalities. We're going to be going more, things are going to be getting faster. It's going to be a lot more to do with energy, yeah? Because planet Uranus is the planet of electricity, yeah? Shocks and surprises, but also innovation. If we look here in the USA chart, look. Uranus, originally in the USA chart, was in Taurus. Taurus deals with what? The body. The 6th house is health. Uranus is innovation. And I even said, there will be some kind of radical sort of innovation that will come out of the States. What we're seeing, what? The vaccines, yeah? But we're also seeing what? Nanobots, yeah? And stuff like that. So there's going to be all other stuff as well, which is going to be a bit, ooh. But we see it happening in real time. So I don't want this video to be too long. It almost felt like almost a bit like a rant. The power. The powers were coming through, you know, channeling. But look, we're going to see a lot of weird stuff. There's more to come. We know Duck Larange is not done yet, scheming. You know, he's talking about hunkering down, because I think he realized it's too late to flee now. Yeah, it's too late. Yeah, it's too late. He should have dust out, you know, from when that election result came in, if he had any sense. But of course, he's bonkers. So his sense is very compromised. So now what does he do? He's trying to do what? Dig in his heels, isn't it? And try and basically overturn the result. He wants to do what? Martial law. And basically become a dictator. That's who he's talking to at night. He's watching the news channels and he's talking to dictators and thinking, how am I going to get out of this? The guy's total traitor. Doesn't care about the States at all. It's shocking. But time is running out. It's coming closer. There's only a month now. The grand conjunction is tomorrow. Yeah, so certain fate and destinies are in play. 1st of January, like I said, Kala Sopayaga. That means the whole world, not just America, the whole world will be under fate and destiny until the spring, until Mars breaks the Kala Sarpa Yoga. Yeah, so there's a lot still to come out. Everything that happens is somehow supposed to happen, but we have free will. Yeah, we can influence that. So again, think of the highest outcome, especially now, because we can see what certain people are trying to do. So think of the highest outcome for all. Raise your vibration, pray, share. If someone's struggling and you can help them, step into that Aquarian age by offering them some charity, yeah? It doesn't even always necessarily need to have to be money, because, you know, not everyone has got the money spare, frankly, at the moment with these energies that are going on. But you can give good advice, yeah? You can give a comforting message. You can make them laugh, yeah? You can make them laugh. You can tell them that you love them, you know, that you can give some kind of positive energy that is going to lighten the heart and give them a lift. Yeah, Winston Churchill once said something very, very wise, and it's so true. He said, when you make someone laugh, you give them a holiday. Isn't that amazing? But it's so true. When you laugh and joke, you forget what? Your problems. So yes, the problems are up to the eyeballs. Of course they are, because there's so much that's not been done around the world, because what? Certain people at the top have been blocking things. But the groundswell is now too much. With this pebble, this, or shall we say this crystal being thrown into the lake of humanity's consciousness by this grand conjunction, more and more people are going to wake up, and many will still be asleep, yeah, and you know, fine, fair enough, they want to stay at that density, but the vibration's going up. We can no longer just obsess about ourselves. We can no longer just consume. We can't. It's too expensive, yeah. Rahu is in the sign of Taurus, and Taurus is the most earth-like sign out of all. Rahu also represents innovation. So we're going to have some innovation with the earth. We need to change before it's too late, yeah? And with this new ticket, we can get there. Right, so I don't want to bang on too much. If you'd like a consultation with me, then of course you can visit my website, which is the archetypalblueprint.com. I still have to email other people. I'm being so childish about this, forgive me. It's just I've had this weird phobia about emails now, because I've got so many of them, and now I'm like, oh, what do I do? Blah, blah, blah. And I just need to, you know, just get over it. But anyway, those, of course, that have consultations with me, of course, you know, you see me and we do our Zoom stuff. Also as well, I want to say thank you as well for all the new subscribers, but also a big thank you to the clients as well. Amazing! The things we talk about, it is astonishing. A lot of you are doing very powerful and innovative work and are part of those ripples that will go out. And I just want to send a general message of just peace, love and light to everyone. Yes, it will be tumultuous. We're going to see more cra. Remember, like I said, this ain't over yet. It's not over yet. We still got a month of this at least. And let's not forget too, remember that infiltration by the Russians into the American systems. We still don't know what has happened, yeah? It could be holding what? Some big surprise come inauguration day or soon after. We don't know what they've managed to grab, so don't forget that as well. So this is why when we manifest and when we pray and when we use our imagination, which are instantaneous, both instantaneous, we can shape that future and we can begin to foil those plans. The prayer is working, by the way. Many plans have been foiled already. You could actually say the election itself was a great plan that was foiled, which is emerging. So it's working. As much as there's those difficult things, it's working. Keep that energy high and we can take everyone with us. Not everyone will want to come, and we just have to accept that. That's totally fine, because we're on a planet of free will, yeah? But now it really is that time. Are you going to be the holy oil of the earth, or are you going to be the vinegar? You know, both are true. Both can exist on earth at the same time, but the vibration is completely different. I'm sure many of you know people are reassessing their relationships and everything seems to be changing at once. People breaking up, you know, people move, or they lose a job, or they get another job, or many opportunities as well. And within chaos there are opportunities, but this is an opportunity to upgrade and step up. So enough from me talking enough. So I just want to say a big sort of like namaste to everyone. Let's observe the world, see those changes, but keep that vibration high. Help each other so we can get through these next few months. When Mars breaks that Kala Sarpa Yoga, we really will begin to start seeing the beginning of the end of the virus, but things don't happen overnight. Yeah, it takes time. So thanks so much. I hope you enjoyed that. I wish you a very happy conjunction, which is tomorrow. Meditate, think, reflect, think of the changes you want to make and see in your life for the next 20 years. All right, thank you. Bye-bye. This is Kamala Harris. using her energy to stir things up. And here comes Biden, bringing the grace. And hopefully this will be the Trumpublicans leaving the White House to let the dance commence. The dance of democracy. And wouldn't it be beautiful? And this was actually a very famous combination because Margot Fontaine was at the end of her career before she met Rudolph. But the combination resuscitated her career and they ended up dancing for years afterwards. And it was a beautiful collaboration between youthful and fiery energy and grace and experience. So although it's a bit naughty for me to say one is that Kamala is Rudolph and Biden is Margot Fontaine, but what I'm talking about is energy. And look at the beauty of it. So I will leave it there. All right, all the best everyone, and pray for the highest good.